Hi guys, welcome to Admarp MarTech Product Marketing and Leadership Series. My name is Ladi Ogunseye and I'm your host. On this series, we'll be talking about a lot of things regarding product marketing, artificial intelligence, digital transformation, especially in the African market space. And it's quite an interesting one today because we're talking about artificial intelligence, and we are not talking about artificial intelligence just in terms of tools. There are so many things, so many beautiful developments happening on our continent, and I brought a maestro. I think that's a great word to describe him. He's been there, done that, still doing it in the artificial intelligence space, on the digital transformation space on our continent. He's building a fantastic business on our space. He's the one and only Lanre Basamta. So, and it's good to have you here today. Trust me, it's so good to have you here today. And before the recording started, I'm like, oh, when I heard that you're the one that will be the guest on the show, I'm like, this is the perfect person to have this conversation with. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I mean, first is to say thank you for bringing me here and inviting me to the show. But more importantly, for asking me to talk on the subject that is not just exciting, but it helps me share original thoughts about what I think is going on in the industry, but more importantly, what's the promise for the future. I'm excited to be here, and of course to see you after some time. The last time I saw you was not the best of times, right?
Not the best
so it's good to see you again.
Yeah. So good to see you too. And I mean, let's start from here, because for you, I followed your career for quite some time. You've led marketing at one of the largest technology companies on this continent, and now you lead an AI business on the continent as well. What would you say has changed? I mean, that switch must not have come easily, I guess. I mean, and I think that on the continent, you got in at the formative stages of artificial intelligence development on this continent. So what do you think has changed? What does the shift look like from the inside, as the inside man for us?
Interesting. So my sojourn into AI was pretty incidental. In October 2022, then I was working at Interswitch. I was vice president of rural banking. I managed 4 businesses just before I left. And I was dealing with maybe 200 banks in maybe 18 countries. So it was an exciting role. Part of the responsibilities of my role required me to prepare for strategy for the businesses that I managed. And usually preparing business strategy takes me anything between 2 to 3 months, because part of what I needed to do was to validate the market premise, what's going on in the industry, who are my competitors, etc. And for 2022, I stumbled on an AI agent on Telegram. I can't remember the name anymore. And so I was prompting the AI agent about my business.
On Telegram.
On Telegram. This wasn't that. And mind you, the agent was built by a Nigerian.
Wow.
This was before the launch of ChatGPT 3.0.
Wow.
Because ChatGPT eventually became launched about 6 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
So I was asking this AI agent, what are the strategies to grow my business? What does it think and all that? And ideas that would have taken me 6-8 weeks, I got in less than 2 minutes. So I got excited. This AI thing is crazy. I mean, I've been in tech now 19 years or thereabout. I go around talking about tech, but this was very experiential for me. It wasn't the traditional tech. So I got excited. And then when ChatGPT launched, it was exciting. But when I decided to leave Interswitch to go start my company, I didn't have AI in mind. In fact, the name of the company that I created, or that myself and my co-founder started, was called AI Labs. We're excited. We're going to be building apps and all that. And then the new administration came in May 2023, and all the premise for our business vamoosed. So with the devaluation of the Naira, with the floating and all that, Nigeria was no longer as exciting for investors to come in. So I needed to change the underlying prism of the business. So I went to my board in June. the government came in May. 1 month later, I went to the board and asked them that I needed to change our business focus. And I wrote strategy for the board that I wanted us to build around AI. So the board accepted. One of my board members actually told me, Larry, this thing that you're doing, the advantage that you have is that nobody really knows about AI. In 2023 June, no institution was teaching artificial intelligence at the management executive level. And so what they told me was that if you go this journey, if you acquire the skill and knowledge, you'll be one of the leaders in the space. So that's what I did. I started learning. I took courses with Google, with Microsoft then, and then started looking for some of the best talent in the country to bring. And so it's been fast-paced evolution. First is the cultural shift to come to a place where you can trust or work with machines to deliver. Second is the fast pace of knowledge required to respond to the opportunities. And last is willingness to continue to adapt. I'll say this and I'll keep quiet. The biggest strength of artificial intelligence is also maybe its biggest burden. That is the speed of obsolescence. You know, before, maybe 10 years ago, if you bought a smartphone, you could use it for 2-3 years. Today now, if you have whatever iPhone is, in 6 months there's another one, right? With AI, maybe every other week, something new was happening. And so you needed to commit to continuously learn, continuously adapt, continuously evolve to be relevant. And so that's the race we're on. It's a never-ending race.
It's quite interesting because I mean, let's go into your company, Optimus AI Labs, and I mean, enterprise by Optimus AI Labs, and for me that's quite interesting because are you just focused on businesses, banks, organizations? What's it really about?
I mean, when we started, like I said, we're thinking we'll build for startups, but it sort of cleared out on us that we needed to do better, that the big opportunity is with enterprise. And so today we primarily focus on enterprises. Our core business strategy and focus in the African market is in financial services. We're talking to banks, microfinance banks, fintechs. We build solutions primarily for them. But I must admit that over the last 3.5 years, our biggest business has come out of North America. Our biggest customers are in Canada, and they cut across industries. Our biggest project innovatively is for one of the largest colleges in Canada. We've also built very high impact project for a cluster of dental clinics out of Canada. We've worked with financial services, mortgage companies out of North America. We continue to look for those opportunities because they pay us, they allow us to pay salaries. But in the African market, we're primarily focused around financial services.
But how are they really engaging with AI? I mean, and I ask this because when you work with businesses outside the African space, their relationship with artificial intelligence, there was a news recently where a very large organization had gone through their AI budget for the year already just in Q2, and people are already saying like these guys have adopted artificial intelligence into their workflows. They are engaging artificial intelligence AI agents all the time. I mean, you mentioned your experience in 2022, way back in 2022, stumbling on an AI agent on Telegram, and so that tells me, you even said that agent was built by Nigeria. That tells me that AI wasn't just new in Nigeria. I mean, some people had been using it. So at the enterprise level, do you think that the largest industries here are really leveraging artificial intelligence or adopting artificial intelligence pretty much?
I mean, it's almost by design now that the Nigerian market is considered to be typical laggard. We typically will join the queue a bit later, right? But I must admit that one of the learnings I am having, is that we have to communicate AI differently.
Oh, for real?
We have to. I was talking to one of our board advisors, and he was saying that maybe you telling the banks that you are selling AI may be a disadvantage. Let me explain. It's like insurance. If you tell a Nigerian to buy insurance, it feels like you are prophesying to him that some bad is going to happen.
It falls on deaf ears.
And so if you have to sell insurance, you have to sell it differently. It's the same with AI, because we are naturally a conservative people. And so AI is saying, come and trust machines. It's going to help you do better. And people generally are not like that. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing is that for enterprises, AI is not exciting. For individuals, AI is exciting. I mean, it's in our apps. We talk to it. Companies don't care for that. Companies are in the business of business. And so if you can prove to them that this AI thing or AI
bottom line
helps them to do their business well, then they are more interested. So today we have 2 flagship products. One of them actually help banks to make money. So we're not just saying it's AI. We're saying, you know what, you make money this way now. With our product, we can grow revenue by 40%. So they're excited to listen. I was sharing with some people over the holidays that we've presented to about 16 banks, and 15 out of 16 are interested. They love it. They want to hear how it helps them make more money. The 16th bank actually said they've just acquired another foreign solution that helps them do the same thing. So they're more interested. The other one helps them manage their customers. They want to hear. So you don't say, oh, this AI, because innovation may be exciting to the individual, may be suspicious to an organization, particularly an organization of high trust who works based on trust. So they don't want to hear something. They're not in the business of excitement. That's not their business. Their business is assurance. If you put your money here, it will be here. Stability. So if you bring something too exciting, it becomes fearful for them. And so you also have to be, we're learning that maybe we shouldn't sell the SaaS around here. We should sell the value and benefit. And they understand that language. So it's a learning for us that we're picking up.
I mean, it's quite interesting because let's move a bit to the side of the individual usage. Right now, in fact, recently I was muting to my friend that right now it's election season in Nigeria, and so politicians are everywhere campaigning, trying to put out awareness and visibility. And I hardly even see a political poster that's not designed by AI at the moment. These days, people make a lot of proposals, and when you hear a proposal, you know that this proposal is regurgitated from an artificial intelligence tool. And so there's that focus where we're doing a lot of content generation, content writing, text generation, now even image generation from AI. So, I mean, what other use cases exist for artificial intelligence outside these daily use cases that the typical average Nigerian uses? Let me shock you with something here. I was talking to somebody who, I don't think she's that educated. I don't think she's that educated. And she goes ahead to tell me, oh, you know what? Let me check ChatGPT. I was stunned because I just met her randomly. I was talking to people in my community, and then she says, I ask her a question, and she says she wants to fact check it on ChatGPT. It was a shocker for me because it goes to show how deeply penetrated ChatGPT as an AI application has become in Nigeria. And for me, it was quite interesting. It was an insightful discussion to have for me. So outside the regular ChatGPT's Gemini that we use for regular everyday content generation, image generation, sometimes even video generation, that's everywhere on social media these days. What AI use cases are pretty much available for especially enterprises in this part of...
is it enterprise or individual?
Individuals and also enterprises. Both parts.
I mean, that's an exciting question. It is exciting for me because first is when you talk about AI, people think of ChatGPT. AI has been around, I think, 79 years since the closure of the Second World War. So it's been around for a while. When I talk to people, I mean, just yesterday I was talking to about 200 professionals about AI in the workplace for the professional. You know, when you talk about AI, people think you're talking about conversational agents like ChatGPT, and those are good expressions of AI, but that's not all there is. I was telling them yesterday that, what do you think Google Map? I mean, I'm here in the studios. I mean, what made me trust Google Map to bring me here? That's AI. AI simply means the intelligence of machines. When you tell yourself that you want to spend 2 minutes or 5 minutes on TikTok and you spend 50 minutes, what do you think is happening? What makes TikTok enough? I mean, I call TikTok the devil's daughter. What gives TikTok enough insight to recommend videos to you? Same for Netflix.
To know which one will keep you on.
That's AI. So there are many expressions of, and I'm going to come to some of them. There are many expressions of it that goes beyond conversational agents on your phone. Now, maybe the first one is, let's talk about personal productivity, whatever it is that you do, whatever your job. You're a writer, an accountant, even if you were I was telling them yesterday, undertaker. That's, you carry dead bodies. You will find that AI cannot just provide you the ideas, the tools, maybe even the capability to do your job better, whatever it is that you do. Meaning that, and you understand, what are you paid for? Your work is your time plus your skill equals output. AI can reduce the time you spend, can explode your output,
and even increase your skill.
Your skill in a way that turns you into, ClickUp last week sacked 22% of their workforce. Yet, in the last 12 months, they made the largest revenues ever. So they're sacking people for the first time, not because of right sizing it. And the CEO of ClickUp said that they're getting to a point in their company where they are creating $1 million ban for employees. So there's money to be paid. They just don't want him. So now they are having, for the first time in the history of the world, team of one, where one person can do the job of 5-10 people because of AI. So whatever your job is, personal productivity is one. The second one is companionship, and I'll ask people to be careful with this, because we're seeing incidences of people committing suicide because they are getting advisories and recommendations. But that's possible. Today, I was sharing before the interview that I ran in the rain on Monday, Tuesday, and I was beaten by rain. I run every morning. I've done today's run. And I tend to do my Bible study when I'm taking a walk or a run. When I'm doing that, just last week on Saturday, I downloaded Speechify, because there's a particular way I do my study. I work with Claude. I do only my Bible study on Claude. I don't use GPT, because Claude is the most emotionally intelligent, by far, conversational agent we have in the world. So I do my Bible study. I'm asking questions. But because my study is really quite detailed, I copy all my study content and I put it on Speechify. So that Speechify can read my study
text
to
speech.
Text to speech. Now, that's one way where my day-to-day conversation engagement is with AI, and I'm using it to improve my faith, my life, my knowledge. I'm using it for that. So those are use cases that you'll find. On the entertainment side, there are tons of it. It's AI in your TikTok. Okay, so let me paint a picture. I joined Facebook 2007. That's, I think, 19 years ago. If you remember how we joined Facebook, when you log in to create an account, there used to be a long form with you. Yeah. Your interest. Are you a man or a woman?
They are not like that. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing is that for enterprises, AI is not exciting. For individuals, AI is exciting. It's in our apps. We talk to it. Companies don't care for that.
Can you understand you? Those are use cases for individual. For business, I could go all day. The function of marketing, the responsibility of account, legal side of your work, marketing and sales. There's almost practically nothing that AI is not influencing. And so when people get lost in the conversational bots or creating content, is maybe the one that is loudest, but I'm certain is not the most impactful.
Interesting. Speaking of use cases, let me share one very personal and interesting use case. I built a startup, and I realized that one day, just random day, there's a sheet that I use for accounting purposes. So I just put transactions there. We don't have an in-house accountant, so we just do a consultant every now and then. So I'm like, instead of reaching out to this consultant, I plug this sheet into a tool, set up the right prompts, was as detailed and comprehensive as possible, and it created the exact thing that the accountant would have created.
All the reports.
that day, I was just like, for real?
Exactly.
I was wow. And for me, stumbling into those incidents, the only thing that comes to my head is that if it can be like this and now, in 5 years from now, this will be perfected.
So this thing that you said, this is like the 1850 of the automobile. We are now in 1850.
Combustion engines.
We are now in 1850. Look at what cars can do now. We have a car that does not have an engine, that does not use petrol. Tesla. A car that runs on software. So this is almost 200 years. So this is day one of AI.
Even the zero.
Day zero. AI is going to teach your children. Like I was talking yesterday, my mom actually paid for me to go and learn how to type. So this is day one of AI.
Even the zero.
Day zero. AI is going to teach your children. Like I was talking yesterday, my mom actually paid for me to go and learn how to type in 1997.
Same here. Desktop publishing.
God bless you. LSDF semicolon LKG.
LKG.
My daughter does not need to learn how to type. She knows it. So when the early days, just think about what's possible. Just imagine it. You cannot.
I mean, those early days, there were computer schools littered around so many places. You have to go to 3 months course.
Actually, learning
6 months course.
Very close to this place. Very close to this place.
6 months course, 3 months course.
I learned
to
on
learn
6
how
months.
to type. There was this Marvin Baker or Marvin Bacon or so. Marvin's Bacon. Like
learning Fortran, Basic, COBOL.
You learn everything manually.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. And let's go a bit to marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, how is AI changing how we do marketing? Especially between the relationship between consumers and businesses. Because generally, I must be honest, AI is impacting so many things. Let me give you one random example as well. It's not even random. Recently, I was just seated. I used Claude to plan my itinerary for my next holiday. And I'm like, okay, you're done with this itinerary. Move this to this, move this to this. You know what? Now add it to my calendar. And I was just there, looking at the AI, doing everything. Within a few minutes, all places I want to go to, every single place has been added to my calendar.
Even the schedules.
Even the schedule. And I'm there like, normally this is something an executive
An assistant
assistant will do for me. And it was, for me, I felt like we are living in times where we don't even comprehend the capability of these tools yet. Because for me, in that case, I even told the AI, like, you know what, this is my budget for this trip. Look for everywhere that I can stay that will fit this budget this entire 3 weeks. I don't need to do anything. I don't want to do anything. Just find it for me. And he kept on plugging into different MCPs, found everything, even told me if I want the tool to go ahead and book for me. And for me, it was quite an humbling experience, because when people say things like AI will take jobs, I'm like, this is quite humbling, because I don't even need a physical assistant to do that for me. I would typically just need to phone in my assistant.
Or even a travel advisor to help you.
Exactly, a travel agent to say, oh, I need you to do this, I need you to do that for me. And interestingly as well, when you talk about travel advisor, I had used an AI tool, Grok, to apply for visas before. And I got it. Strictly on the advice, on the counsel of Grok. Just following the counsel of Grok. I had applied for visas with Grok, not one, not twice. And I had gotten it. Just because Grok was saying, remove this, put this, fix this, this makes your application weak, improve on this. And so for me, like, I think about these use cases, and then I come to marketing. I mean, how do you see AI? What do you think is changing the way consumers deal with before? I mean, let me talk about just one random one now, and then you answer. People search for things. Oh, electrician near me, baker near me. These days, people don't do that anymore. I think that the default. I was talking about someone that I met randomly, not literate, maybe semi-literate, saying that she wants to check ChatGPT, and so it means that the way people even search for information, consumers search for information, has changed or is evolving, maybe not fully yet. So how do you see AI impacting market, or what impacts are you seeing AI having on marketing between the relationship between brands and consumers?
Okay, I'm trying to zip shut my lips because it's something we're working on. Okay. But I'm going to just drop some tidbits. First is that for businesses who do business on the internet, the business model of the internet is dead. So, and that's hard. You know, in Admarp, we always have this argument from time to time. I actually sent something. The first time I heard this was going to happen was about a year ago. So I sent it to the WhatsApp group, right? And I hope that members of the group are going to hear this. And when I said, because I saw somebody was making a presentation saying that the business model on the internet is content and location. That's it. Everything that makes money, and I'm talking about we in the marketing space, you create content and people find you. That's how you make money. I'm talking about internet businesses, right?
So, for example, if you are a content creator, or maybe on social media, you create content and then you bring people. So, the person who determines how people find you used to be the algorithm.
The search engines.
So, with AI, everything has changed. Meaning that no matter the content that you create, when people are searching, Google agents can respond to them. People don't come to your site anymore. People don't come to your blog anymore. So that business model of content identification and all that is no longer there. And so AI is completely changing the landscape. So what will people do?
When you say people, you mean the business owners?
I'm saying people who are searching and people who are finding. It's disrupted now. Okay. So we are taking a leap immediately. We are changing the whole concept of how people see tools like ChatGPT. We are building something that's called personalized shopping assistant, who is going to not just help you find, but help you pay, execute anything you want. And why is this the future? Today, I'll share with my team. 2 months ago, I saw on ChildEd, a lady posted there that, you know what, ChildEd, I need you guys to help us identify food, because the process of finding the right food is tiring. Yeah. And then I smiled, because you know what, all that you need is a personalized shopping agent who over time not just know you, but know your culinary preferences. Yes. And it's going to advise. Today, I mean, eating rice, like, I mean, I took a lot of rice over the holidays because of course, I got a lot of RAM, right? My agent should be saying, Lanre, you've taken a lot of rice. I think you should change your diet for the next few days. I think you need some fruits. So we're taking that lead, and the way people find and execute, the way commerce is done, it used to be e-commerce. Oh, e-commerce is now dying. It's going to be agentic commerce. And you can't even fight it. Yeah. It's already in the US. We are just bringing it to Africa. So it's already, people are now trusting agent to record. And you just told me you did the same. Yeah. So people are learning to trust agent. And now we have built a capability. We're partnering with, I was going to mention 2 of the biggest brands in the world and one of the biggest brands in Nigeria. I don't want to mention it now because we're finalizing. We're building the capability that solves all the problem about discretion, you giving discretion to your agent. The capability is such that you can have 1 million in your account, but you tell your agent you can only spend 50,000. So the agent can go and buy anything for you with 50K. Immediately you tell the agent you need something, you need amala, for example. You don't need to be, he knows that is under 50K, will buy it for you. So that's the future, but that's number 1. Number 2, within marketing use case, we're building something else with another agency in the country, where, and that's going to roll out even faster than the other one, where the biggest problem that marketing people are is market insight. What do my customers want? What are they really saying about my brand? Is there a market segment for this opportunity? Can I build a product? Should I build this? And so we're building autonomous agents that goes to the internet and search about your brand and search about your people and help you understand what they want, what they say, how they feel about your brand. And one of the things we always say, crowdsource. Help you crowdsource insights that helps to propel your business separately. That's 2. The third one is really, really the future of advertising, because that's where everybody thinks. When we talk marketing, everybody thinks marketing is advertising. Advertising is just a sub-segment. But let's talk about it. It's not just about, so advertising today is creating content and trying to distribute. In the future, advertising will be personalization. So we can be, only God knows how many of us are in the studio right now, is that how you want content to be received is different from me, it's different from the others. If I'm a guy, there are tones to languages, there are tones to content that I like. A lady hears the same thing and she feels offended. And so AI is going to help us personalize, hyper-personalize to the point where there's more effectiveness in our communication, but there's much better experience to the target audience. And there are way more that AI is able. And these are not promises. This happens already now. Yeah. And maybe the last one is for, the last thing to say is where you landed it. It's particularly for small business owners, and I hear there are 40 million small businesses in Nigeria. AI is going to help you with marketing differently. We are building, I don't want to say this before, but I can say it now. We're building an agentic marketplace where, for small business, we're telling you, you know what, we know your product. We're going to help you find your customers. We're going to help you sell your product. set up the store. To set up your store, an AI agent is going to help you set it up. Today, everybody's just trying to set up. But don't worry. That's the future where AI is not just this exciting thing on your phone that you talk to when you are looking to search things. AI is deeply embedded in our lives. The real last thing I'm going to say, I was telling my kids, on Saturday I went on a walk with them, and we went through the post office on Macaulay Way. And I told them that, guys, do you know there was a time in Nigeria when if I want to talk to somebody in Apapa is just only God knows how many kilometers from my house. I come to the post office to write letters and buy stamp. But my children cannot understand because they were born into an internet first world. That's the way our world is going to be. Because right now, we are the ones who are transiting between pre-AI into the AI world. But in the AI first world, you will wonder, how were we talking to ourselves in the 90s? Where there were no mobile phones? How were we? So my mom, I schooled in Jos, which is more than 1,000 kilometers there. My mom can come to Jos and not meet me and go back home. Because she doesn't know where in Jos I am. There's no location. Like I was coming to this place, I was sent a live location. There's no live location.
They just get an address and then they give it to people and people start directing them.
Do you know what's interesting? The person you are looking for can be in the next house you won't know. There's a world like that. That's how people will wonder in 10 years, how did we do business before AI? Because AI is going to be even more disruptive than the internet. And the best way to think about it is today, the top 10 most valuable companies in the world, 9 of them are internet-based companies. Only one, Aramco in Saudi Arabia, is not. In the next 20 years, that's what's going to happen. The top 10 companies in the world will be AI powered. Because that's the direction of our world.
I mean, that's quite interesting, to be honest. I think there was one tweet I made just yesterday that I can't remember the exact use case. I just thought, like, how was this done before? Because I could imagine the frustration. I can't exactly. It's not coming here to me. Like I could imagine the frustration, the process it took people before me, how they were doing it before, and then I could just do the same thing like easily. It must have been difficult. And let's come back to Africa a bit. I mean, you worked at Interswitch. I think you worked at Interswitch for about 4 years. Multiple African markets. I mean, digital products in Africa. What's the future going to be with artificial intelligence? I mean, there are so many thriving industries. Markets are fragmented on the continent. The way Madagascar operates is different from the way Gabon operates, different from the way Mali operates, different from the way South Sudan operates, different from the way Cameroon operates. Like right now, I'm supervising like 17 African markets, and I go through it daily because the markets are so different, so different from each other. So, like, what do you think is the future going to be like with the advent of artificial intelligence, with consumer products, with mobile applications on the continent? I mean, this is considering the fact that we've not even gotten to the point where we are fully mobile first yet. That penetration is not deep yet. I mean, you go to countries like China, for example. Even a beggar has WeChat. They beg you with a QR code. In Nigeria, P2P is still at the earliest, maybe at the infantry stages, I would say, when compared to other markets. So, and same thing. So many African markets, Momo is king there. So you can, banking infrastructure is not so strong, so great. So what do you think is the future with mobile infrastructure, mobile applications, consumer applications in Africa with the artificial intelligence?
Okay, just a slight correction. If you take Nigeria a bit away from the general continent, we are not being happy. In some aspect of digital payment, we are top 5. For example, in instant payments, Nigeria is the top 5 market in the world. So we're not doing badly, but I admit and I agree with you that as a continent, we are still way behind. Okay, compared to adoption and pervasiveness in China, even in India, and then some Southeast Asian countries where we're behind. But let me speak to some of the questions that let me provide some answers to some of the questions you've asked about. First is, we must admit that having 52 countries on this continent is maybe unfair. Think about it. Right now, there are about 200 countries in the world. 200 and something countries in the world. There are 7 continents. Yet, on one continent, there are 52 countries. Do you know what that means? It means that all the big countries came and they divided the country, yama yama. That's why There's no reason why we should have 52 countries. What it means is that we have 52 countries of different cultures, different languages, different currencies, different markets. So we've created so much fragmentation that is now difficult to power a nation out of a continent. Oh, the late Mama Gaddafi tried to create the United States of Africa, to create a single currency, to try to develop continental powerhouse. But it didn't work. So there is some bit of challenge there. But let's come to what the future is. One of the things we're taking a bet on at Optimus is that we must admit that digital financial services, we call it DFS, has picked pace a lot on the continent. Kenya, of course, were the pace setters. But if you look beyond Kenya, mobile money, mobile banking, and all of those retail lending, merchant lending has picked up a lot on the continent.
Yeah.
We think that the market is maturing to the point where everything becomes commodified. And to innovate around commodity, you need to personalize. You need to add more value. We think that's where it's going to go. So in Nigeria, for example, we've built an AI model that personalizes product and services across digital channels. We're offering it to the banks today. We're going to get into the market. We're selling it to other countries. We're just about to open to Ghana more recently, where we're selling the same product in Ghana. Hopefully, we're able to take it all around where, let me break it down. On an average banking app, I don't want to mention the brands now, one of the leading banks in Nigeria, on their app, there are 54 products and services that makes them money, 54. But only 4 of those 54 makes about 95% of their revenues. Do you know why? Because users don't know and they don't care. They only go into the app to transfer money and they leave. They don't know that there are other products you can get Visa on the app. They don't know you can buy tickets. They don't know you can book holidays. They don't know you can make investment. They don't know and they don't care. What if there's an AI model that can personalize what they see, that can tell them about those products and services, that can educate them? All of these things that you've said because of your own personal knowledge and ambition, what if there's an AI agent that can help the customer know that they can do this and they can achieve more? In some instances, without paying anything more. Would they not do it more? So personalization is first the future of digital financial services. We're going to get into that space. That's the first one. The second one is AI is going to make these fragmented 52 countries much smaller. And how is it going to do it? Today, you see Nigerians travel to Republic of Benin. All of us now, because travels are more expensive. I had friends who traveled just last week to Benin. And when they went to Benin, they went to a resort. It was great, but they stayed in the resort. Because if they decide to go out to see Benin, they don't know how to speak French. With AI, language translation is easier now. You just translate and people are exchanging. So these artificial barriers that we have across the continent, they are going to be made small. It's just like the internet. You can chat somebody in Canada now. The whole world is smaller because of technology. That's why we call the world a global village. Africa is going to be much smaller with AI because our artificial or real barriers are going to be broken down through AI. That is true. The third one is commerce. Like I said, commerce and payment. Somebody was saying that why didn't we have a high incidence of cyber fraud before, until recently? And I told them that majorly all the fraud you used to have in Nigeria was with connivance of internal employees. That the reason why it was hard for North Koreans to cyber attack Nigeria was because our market was largely disconnected from the global market. Even if you stole 10 billion naira, you have to convert it to dollar before a North Korean can use it. Now, with our naira floated, it means that you can actually convert naira to dollars. You can convert naira to crypto. So in the same way that bad actors can use AI, good actors can use it. Meaning that you can buy stuff from Mauritius today, right now. Meaning that somebody can buy stuff from you from Somalia today. So it's going to provide value for buyers and sellers. It's going to allow us to cross-pollinate. We're going to do business across border. We're going to make payment. We're going to get fulfillment. Just as people are buying as small a thing as I bought this my AirPods from China. Very small, this small thing. Why would I have to buy across continent when I can buy this same thing from Ghana? So people are going to do business with fellow Africans. We're going to create more value. We're going to become richer. Of course, there are possibilities of bad actors, but the continent will get way better because of AI than it is today. I promise. It will be.
And to be honest, I agree with this because even in terms of policies, you see PAPs taking off.
I must admit, I was talking, like I said, to young people yesterday, and I was saying that I've worked in about 10 organizations, and it's not the best thing. But in all the 10 organizations I've worked, I didn't apply to anyone, including Interswitch, including Remita. Okay, so I was very fortunate to have people speaking on my behalf in rooms where I wasn't. But I wanted to say if you look beyond the fortune, but no, you can't look beyond. I'm fortunate. But in addition to the fortune, is that I'm a good hard worker. I work hard. Oh yeah, I work smart, but I work hard. And there's still going to be a place for working hard. When I tell the stories of Mr. Biggs in the 90s, I said, young people don't understand. Mr. Big was a beast. Mr. Biggs was the benchmark of successful franchise. In fact, I think it was about 20-something years ago, their franchise was worth 30 million just to get their name on your stock. But Mr. Biggs, after a while, didn't evolve, and then many people copied them and they did better. And so part of what I do is to put in the time, the effort in my job. And I think that there's always a place for that, because in a place where many people are not doing well, like, I'm sorry, Mr. Biggs of the 90s, you can be the champion. But when others are there doing the same thing, you have to excel. And the good thing about excellence is that it stands out. You don't necessarily need to like excellence. It's like Ronaldo. Many people don't like him. But you don't have to like him. It's clear that he's head and shoulders above others. He's maybe not the most talented, but his numbers speaks louder. So you need to put in the effort. That's excellence. And there are a few other things. The third one is people. Like I said, people, when I do a lot of talking, when I talk about people, I say, on this planet, the most valuable resource in the world are human beings. People don't get. So I use descriptors to use. Just one Bitcoin is about 100K US. One Bitcoin is about 1.3 billion naira. One barrel of oil is about $100. That's 130,000 naira for one barrel of oil. One bar of gold is about $2,000. That's a lot of money. So there are many things in this world that are valuable. In fact, you know how you know things are valuable? People kill for it. Look at how we've been treating the Niger Delta in Nigeria. Look at how people are killing themselves. But guess what? There's nothing in this world that's as valuable as one person. How do you know? How do you take? Don't take my word for it. Think about Bitcoin. All the Bitcoins in the world were created from the brain of just one person. That's how you know human beings are valuable. And so if you want to excel in your career, if you want to continue to evolve, then you have to treat people with respect. You have to form friendships that transcends even your job. You have to open doors. One of my staff just resigned, and I was just talking to him to somebody. I was like, that guy is a great guy. Even though he's resigning, I'm going to keep in contact with him. You keep in contact with people, you nurture relationships, you invest in others. You are not transactional with your friends. You're going to get a reward for it. Like the Chinese say, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with others. That's one of the things you need to do, building with people.
I think it's quite an interesting philosophy when it comes to career and the likes. And I think I want to end on this note with this final question.
Okay.
And you've touched a bit on it across the different questions, but I want us to merge everything together.
Okay.
If I, as an individual, want to stay relevant in the next 5 years, I, as a business owner, or as a business, want to stay relevant in the next 5 years, especially with the trend that artificial intelligence is leveraging.
Okay.
What do I need to be doing now to make sure that I keep being relevant? And like as I said, you've spoken about it in different silos. I want us to marry everything together. What do I need to do to stay relevant? What's the important thing that I should be doing that perhaps maybe others are not even yet doing in this AI-shaped landscape that we will find ourselves in the next 3-5 years?
So I read a book. I can't remember the title. Like I said, I read a lot of books. And this book was talking about why do successful companies fail? So the guy was trying to do a research that a company like BlackBerry, not even BlackBerry, like Nokia. Nokia was so powerful that they were serving billions of customers all over the world. So why do big successful companies, why do they fail? So it was simple. Is that if the pace of innovation outside is faster than inside, you lag behind. That's all. that if what is going on out there is faster than what is going on inside you, you will be behind. There's nothing more. So what you have to do is at the minimum to keep pace with what's going on out there, or if you are really smarter, to be ahead of what's going on. So the question is, how exactly do you do it? For example, in Admarp is a community of practitioners. There are people there who never talk, who never read, who have muted the book. But that is maybe the biggest wellspring for the advancement of your career. Because everything you do today is from what you know, and everything you knew was in the past. As we're talking, as we're recording this now, things are going on. And before we get into tomorrow, people are planning for things to drop. And so, how do you advance your career? How do you progress in your life? How do you continue to evolve if you don't know? And how would you know if you're not learning from others? So that's the minimum. Keep pace with people. Stay active in community. Learn, watch the news, learn what is going on. And don't just learn, operate. Because they say we're a continent of consumers. We only consume. That's why one of the contestants is saying we want to be producers, not just we consume everything. Like we use TikTok just to consume. Can we not create? So when you hear that people are discussing, and I'm not just talking about Admarp now because I don't want to patronize. I'm saying if you belong to industry group, and I belong to many industry groups, in the fintech side, on the learning side, contribute, learn, debate with them, share your own thought, stress test your ideas. That's where at the minimum. So I tell people, do you know what value is? Value is so interesting that it's perceived. So I'm talking on this podcast, and somebody can listen to me and offer me deals worth millions because they are hearing and they think that I know what I'm saying. So I met a young lady, an American Asian, last week, and she was saying that because people cannot know, knowledge is based on verifiable facts. You can't verify that I know anything I'm saying now, because even if I tell you I've gone to the university, I need to show you my certificate. You need to validate that it's not even fake. So the only way people relate with knowing is they perceive. Even the Bible, many people say, I perceive in my spirit. And so, because people will perceive, you have to stress test even your own ideas with others. Debate it. So that when you are communicating, when you are operating, when you are executing, people feel like this guy needs more. So businesses bring business. I got some business last year because somebody heard me speak at an event. In fact, I can mention it. We got business from Ebony Life. We got their business. We built an AI project for them because somebody heard me speak at an event. So when they call me to event, I say, you know what? It's not just me giving back. It's not just me being responsible in the industry. It's because that is how I grow. I'm a business owner now. Showing up, engaging with the industry is part of my job. I tell my friends, before I've been in Daystar now 25 years. For many of those 25 years, before service is over, I leave. The day I started running my business, after church, I talk with others. Engaging, being an active participant in the community of fellows is an investment in your future. For individuals, for businesses. Like I said, dynamism is the future of business. Whatever it is that you do. Our world is no longer stable. My dad was fortunate. He worked for 50 years in one company. He retired in his 70s. They were giving him a deep freezer for long service award. Last week, Meta sacked 8,000 people. 8,000. How many organizations recruit 8,000 in Nigeria? Same last week, Jumia sacked 200 people. Jumia. How many people recruit 200 people? I just talked about ClickUp did the same thing. Amazon did the same. Everybody's doing the same thing. And so the world is, the foundations of the world are now shaky. In fact, when I went to business school, I spent some time in LBS. They taught us a strategy about constant chaos. That strategy, I wrote a piece about it on my LinkedIn article that the world is in constant chaos. The political leaders are doing that. Russia is fighting Ukraine. US and Iran, they are fighting. There's chaos on the political side. In the business world, it's the same. One day you are doing this, regulators, I don't want to mention that because I'm subject to them. Regulators will change policy. This will change. There's no peace. Employees, as you are working with them, one will jackpot today, the other will resign tomorrow. Your competitors are killing you. The evil spirits are after you. It's complete chaos. And so, being dynamic, looking out for opportunities, never just planning with yesterday's data, but anticipating tomorrow's realities is the only way we survive. Because in a world of constant chaos, constant evolution and dynamics, how you can't stay in one place. They say it's only a tree that stays and waits for people to come and cut it down. You cannot stay. Because what you are staying upon was last year's data Things have changed. Mr. President even released new insight today on his Twitter handle. That's, you have to be dynamic. What can we do differently? What should we do that we're not even doing? If not, you think that Google will still be around? Microsoft celebrated 50 years last year. Google is celebrating 30 years. You think they'll still be around? They would have died. If Google said the only thing we want to do is search, we are not in the other business, there won't be YouTube. That's why big companies,
they will no longer even be in business because search is
dead now.
Yeah.
That's why big business, they do what they call M&A. They merge with new companies. They acquire the innovators. That's what Meta did. Facebook was all the company. Shebi, the guy offered 12 billion to buy WhatsApp. He offered how many billion to buy Instagram? That's you bring others that know better than you. You do more than what you do. Now all of us are not on Facebook.
We've moved to WhatsApp.
But we met them there too. So that's the future of business, because it's in a world of constant chaos, constant evolution is the only way you survive. If you stand, you'll be like the tree that waits for them to come and cut him. That's the only way you survive.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's been an interesting conversation so far. We'll be speaking with Lanre Basamta. He's the CEO, co-founder at Optimus AI Labs. They build artificial intelligence solutions across the world. And it's been quite an interesting conversation. Today we've spoken about from the evolution of where we used to be from to where we are right now and where we would be in the next coming years. He shared his personal philosophy, he shared his personal thoughts. And to be honest, this is a video you need to watch. Even share with your friends, because even while posting this, I've learned quite a lot of things in our world, and we must be honest with ourselves. Our world is fast changing. There's constant chaos every day that we wake up, and so it's very interesting that we stay updated. And I think one of the key things that I live here with, I'm living here with so many things, I'll be honest with you. One of the key things that I live here with is staying updated with new information from as many sources as possible, because the world is changing and you need to evolve as well. You cannot live on yesterday's news. You can't live on yesterday's information. It's very, very important. So thank you guys for watching. See you on the next episode. I remain Ladi Ogunseye, your host for the Admarp MarTech Product Marketing Leadership.